Hello everyone, welcome again to our YouTube channel IELTS by Neil. Today we are going to discuss one of the very important type of task 2 in writing section, which is discussion essay. You might have come across a question asking you to discuss both the views and give your opinion. It is one of the type of question that is being asked in the IELTS writing task 2. And this task 2 has the maximum weightage in the IELTS writing section. So without wasting any more time, let's move on. So first, let's see what you're going to learn in this video. You will learn discussed about how to identify the discussion essay. This is very important because if you're not able to identify the discussion essay, then you will follow the wrong structure and task 2 will be completely wrong. And the next point we have discussed is the common mistakes that everyone does in their writing task 2, especially in the discussion essay. Okay, and of course after that the essay structure is being discussed, like how many paragraphs we have to make, what we have to write in the introduction, how we have to write the conclusion and all. Okay, and of course planning is also being discussed in this video, how to plan your essay, what points you have to include, what you don't have to include. Okay, and finally we have done a sample answer for you. So moving on with the first point, how to identify the question type. So basically these are some typical words which are there in the discussion essay. This number one, it says discuss both the views and give your opinion. So this is the most common one. In 80% of the essays you will find this wordings. Okay, and number two, discuss both the views and give your own opinion. So it's means the same, but they've just changed the wording, so you don't have to get confused with this. Okay, and the last one is discuss both sides of the argument and give your opinion. So of course argument is nothing, just the views. Okay, so you don't have to get confused. So whenever you see any of these question types, your mind should click that yes, you have to follow the structure for the discussion essay. So this is the technique to identify like whether this is a discussion essay or opinion essay or advantages or disadvantages. 5 types of essays in writing task 2. Now let's have a look at some similar types of essays. Often we get confused with these type of questions. For example, the opinion essay. In opinion essay they will say that 2 views are given and you need to support at least one. For example, in opinion essay 2 options will be given, option A and option B. So you have to select one and then you have to talk about that, why you support that. You have to give examples to prove your point. Okay? You don't have to support the other one. So this is the difference between opinion essay and discussion essay, because discussion essay you have to talk about both the views. Okay, but in the opinion essay you don't have to talk about both views, you just have to support one option. So do you agree, disagree, or to what extent do you agree? So these are the common wordings for this opinion essay. So don't get confused with the opinion essay and discussion essay. Again, discussion essay and opinion essay will have 2 views, but the only difference is that opinion essay you will need to support one. Okay, and in the discussion essay you will need to discuss both the views and then give your opinion. Okay, so there's a slight difference between the 2. You need to understand this. Next type of essay which students might get confused with is advantages and disadvantages essay. So what is the difference between advantages and disadvantages and discussion essay? Very simple difference is that in advantages and disadvantages only one view is given. For the same view you have to talk about advantages, and for the same view you have to talk about disadvantages, whereas in the discussion essay 2 views are given, so you have to talk about both the views. Okay, so that is the only difference between advantages and disadvantages and discussion essay. And the typical wording for this advantage and disadvantage, discuss the advantages and disadvantages, and of course the view is only one view is given. Okay, so you have to be very careful while identifying the type of essay so that you don't go with the wrong structure. Coming on to the common mistakes, like what are the common mistakes students do in discussion essay? First of all, not giving your opinion, because if you have noticed they have asked strictly your opinion, that discuss both the views, and give your opinion. So whenever they ask your opinion, you have to give your opinion. You cannot leave it like not stating your opinion, okay? So always make sure whenever you are asked to give your opinion, you have to give your opinion. This is very common, is that not stating arguments for both the views. So for example, two views are given, A and B, and if you only talk about A in the paragraph, in the body paragraphs, and you ignore the B, you will lose the score in task achievement, because you have not covered all the parts of questions, okay? So whenever two views are given in discussion essay, make sure you talk about both the views are equally important. So you have to give valid reasons for both the views and of course the examples. So again, common mistakes are not giving your opinion. You have to give your opinion. Not stating your arguments for both the views. You have to give arguments for both the views. Remember this, both, not just one. Both are equally important. Both the views are equally important because both are the part of the question. So you have to attempt both the views. Now coming on to the structure of the discussion essay. So in the structure, to begin with, it's introduction. Introduction is nothing but just simple paraphrase of the question, an outline sentence, and of course your opinion. So whatever you think, you can tell in the introduction. Next thing is the first body paragraph. In this, you have to talk about the first view. And for the first view, you have to explain why this view is held by some people. You have to talk generally. You don't have to say that I believe that, or according to me. So first view will be discussed in the first body paragraph, and second view will be discussed in the second body paragraph along with the examples. Please make sure that you are giving examples for both the views and you are discussing both the views according to the views held by some people. Again, you don't have to write that I believe that, or according to me, or what I think. You don't have to give your view in the body paragraphs. Your view can come in the conclusion. So when you discuss both the views in body paragraphs, and finally when you're writing the conclusion, you have to summarize the key points which you have discussed here in the body paragraphs and give your opinion. Okay, this is a simple structure for discussion essay. So let's try to do an example to make it more clear. So let's take an example of this question. So this is a sample question. Scientists agree that people are damaging their health by eating too much junk food. So this is nothing, just a statement given, okay? Some people think that the answer to this problem is to educate people. Others think education will not work. Here is the question statement. So here two views are given. So the question is, junk food is a problem, and what are two views? So first view is education is the solution, and second view is education is not the solution. So these are the two views that we have to discuss in both the body paragraphs. Okay, so again, this is just a statement, and these are the two views. Some people think that the answer to this problem is to educate people, first view. Others think that education will not work, second view. Have to talk about both the views and give your opinion. So again, discuss both the views and give your opinion. That's a typical wording for some discussion essay. So let's begin with the structure. To start with, let's begin with the introduction. As we have discussed in the introduction, we have to write the paraphrase of the statement. So in the modern world, spelling of modern is not correct, sorry about that, it's M-O-D-E-R-N. Alright, modern world, there has been an accelerating trend of people eating unhealthy food. So this first sentence from here to here is being paraphrased. Now this is just a statement. We have written the paraphrase here. So this is the first view. While some people regard education as an ineffective measure to resolve the problem, means education is not effective, is an ineffective. So this is one of the view, and the other view is that education is effective. Okay, so we have to discuss both. So here I have said that I would contend that this practice would serve as a definitely workable solution to tackling such a problem. So I'm supporting one of the views. Now let's talk about the planning. How we're gonna plan the first body paragraph. So of course, what is the supporting view? We have to see the supporting view in this first body paragraph is that education is not important, okay, to stop people from consuming junk food. So this is the point that we are supporting here. This is the view that we are supporting here. So let's see what's the first point that we're gonna make. So why is education not important? You can say because modern lifestyle forces people to have junk food. This could be one of the point, and we can provide example to prove this, like example of an educated person, so that we can prove that education is not important to stop having junk food. Okay, to read this, it says there is a common belief that education would not be an effective method of deterring people from consuming a large amount of junk food. So this is my point. Supporting of this view might argue that modern lifestyle is the root of this issue, which would not be efficiently addressed by education. So I've said it here that education is not an effective measure to stop having junk food. Now, I've given an example also that there are many intellectual officers in favor of fast food due to its convenience and portable manner. So this is the example I've given of an educated person, intellectual officer, to prove that education doesn't work or education doesn't help in consuming less junk food. So this is the first body paragraph. Now, coming on to the second body paragraph, similarly, we have to do the same thing. We just have to, with the planning, is that education is important. So this is the second view. Now we have to give reason, like appropriate or relevant education will create awareness. So not all the education, but education based on the awareness about the junk food and the health crisis which are being caused by the junk food. An example could be of life-threatening disease which is being caused by having junk food. This could prove our point that yes, education is important. So I've discussed this view here. I would strongly endorse education as an effective key to junk food overconsumption problem. The primary reason, what the reason I've given is appropriate education would be efficiently raise eaters' awareness, which may act as deterrent to the people's opting for unhealthy food. Here I've given an example that once people gain insightful knowledge and awareness of life-threatening cancers and disease caused by overeating of fast food. So if you have a look at this point, I have just talked about the second view that education is important, and I've given an example. So until now I have done introduction with the paraphrase. I've done the first body paragraph with the first view and with the example, and I've done the second body paragraph with a second view and example. Now it's time to write the conclusion. In the conclusion, you just have to write the key points. I firmly believe, and this is my opinion, I firmly believe that education measures would significantly mitigate junk food consumption and deter the problem from being it. So I'm supporting that yes, education will work. Always make sure that whatever you are saying here in the introduction and the conclusion, your both views should be the same. They should never differ from each other. So make sure it is same. I hope this video has given you enough knowledge about the discussion essay, but still, if you have any questions, please do let us know in the comment section below. Thank you for your time today. See you next time.